You are listening to the Eskimo Empire Podcast, a proud member of the Canadian Football Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Empire. It's the Eskimo Empire Podcast.
This is Trevor Harris.
Hey, how you doing? This is number 58, Travis Bond.
This is Christoph Malomba Chimanga.
Hey there, this is your co-host, Kenny Stafford.
Hey, this is Ryan King.
Calvin McCarty.
And you are listening to...
You're listening to the Eskimos Empire.
Listening to the Eskimo Empire Podcast.
The Eskimo Empire Podcast. Hope you guys enjoy listening.
Welcome back to the Turf District for the Eskimo Empire Podcast, and we are a part of the Alberta Podcast Network, powered by ATB. I'm Andrew, and we have a great show tonight as we will talk the setup for this week's game against the Lions, a new history moment, our pick'ems, and most importantly, we have an amazing guest. First, in the Turf District tonight, it is Superfan Mike.
Happy end of bye week.
Excellent. That isn't a celebration every year that we enjoy.
It's true. 3 bye weeks now, I tell you.
So we get a lot of celebrations.
That's right.
Yay! Okay. Also here, of course, is Commissioner Kayla.
And happy non-disappointment week.
There we go.
Non-disappointment week.
The Eskimos didn't play, so we couldn't lose.
Well, we weren't going to anyway. We don't pick.
We're against imaginary teams? What the heck?
Right. Yeah, we did get a penalty somehow. Just found a way. Oh,
was
my
it Al
goodness.
Bradbury? Okay.
Yeah, probably, yes. How was bye week for you guys?
Good. Saw the practice, obviously. We both went on Sunday. It was a good time. Mm-hmm. Weather held up, which was kind of nice. And, otherwise just packing, and more packing.
Yeah, it's like you're moving or something.
It's like I'm building a house, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
What?
It's all
this
news.
is completely new information.
Were you just hanging out with the Stingers all week for bye week, or what were you doing?
Good question.
Wow.
Can never remember. Why do you ask me such
You
difficult
know, the gin
questions?
isn't that strong that you can't remember bye week.
Just kidding. My sister got married.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes,
Awesome.
yes. And then Saturday and Sunday was just football.
Awesome.
Yeah, watching different games.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about the games from last week before too long here. And I of course, I want to talk about those with our guest, though. So before we do that, we just need to do a quick chat here. I'm going to change that. Before we do that, let's talk quickly about ATB Booster. That is a new thing they are doing. It's basically a reward-based crowdfunding platform for new entrepreneurs in startups or small business. So if you have an idea and you want to test it out, Booster is a unique way to crowdfund right through ATB. It's designed by Albertans for Albertans, and you can even log in and support local businesses and help them expand in the community. So,
very cool.
Yeah, I thought it was really neato, actually. I kind of was reading about it and checked it out, and I'm like, hey, this is kind of like, right homegrown crowdfunding, which is outstanding.
How about for local podcasters who have high school debt?
That's entrepreneur. Yeah, find a way. Anyway, if you want more information, make sure you check out atbbooster.com. That's atbboostr.com and get all the information there. Now, let's bring in our guest.
Yes, please.
He's been so patient. 10 years in the CFL. Of course, the last 5 with the Eskimos. Grey Cup champion in 2015, locking down that Oline. It is the one and only Justin Sorensen. Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This is awesome. As we said, we wanted to get you here a lot, and now we can have you here and have beers and chat football. Yeah. So this is outstanding.
I would have had beers before.
Well, okay. Well, that was an easy one to do, I guess. How's the summer been so far? What's it like being on the other side now?
It's nice. So you can actually do stuff in the summer.
Yeah, you don't feel like your every bone is breaking as you get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah, went down to Pinoca Stampede last week. It's
nice.
Really frees up your weekends, let me tell you.
That's kind of nice, too. What are you up to otherwise these days?
I got a job working in commercial real estate, so that's been good. Working for a big firm downtown, Lazat and Associates. So yeah, that's been going great and really enjoying that. And then, like I said, I do that during the week, and then weekends it's nice to spend time with the family and friends and kind of have the freedom to do whatever you want.
Are you still watching games, or?
Yeah, I still watch games.
Okay, yeah.
I don't necessarily watch all of them, but I watch bits and pieces of most of them.
Okay, good, because I can't wait to talk to you about them.
Kind of nice to be able to just watch as opposed to having to break down film all the time.
Yeah.
Exactly right. I check the scores every night if I do miss the game, and I look at the stats and stuff. So I try and keep up still.
Awesome.
That's great. So when we have a player in, we always like to kind of go way back and work our way forward. So how did you get into football in the first place? Was it someone that got you interested, and how did it go from there?
When I was a kid, I was always the biggest kid in class. That's for sure.
No kidding. Yeah.
I'm 6'8" now. I was 6'8" in 9th grade.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
So I was
9th grade.
Yeah, I was always the biggest kid. And so when I was young, everyone's like, "Oh, you should play football." And so I was like, "All right." And when I was 8 years old, I went out and started playing and fell in love with it from there.
Wow. Cool. Like, were you were playing on just like a Pee Wee team kind of idea out in BC?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Cool. And then did you go through then you went straight through till to high school and then carried on?
Yeah, like Pee Wee, Bantam, or Junior Bantam, and then all the way through high school.
Wow. That is awesome.
Is that Mikey? No,
It is. Did you
I was
like
like,
it?
are you stealing my question?
No, sure not. No.
So you played both sides of the ball in the BC league, or I should say BC High School League. What drew you to the O-line and specifically center?
Well, I never played center until 6-7 years, or my 3rd, 4th year in the pros.
Okay.
I played right tackle in high school and in college. And then obviously I played D-line in high school and stuff. If you're in high school, everybody plays both ways.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in a AA team with 30 kids, right?
Yeah, then you just play it all.
I kicked. I did everything.
You did? Really?
I was a backup kicker. It's kicked some extra points in high school.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I used to punt a little bit. And back then, you had to do it all.
Yep.
Especially if there's only 26 kids in your team.
So did you get your quarterback dreams a little bit?
Yeah, I threw a fake punt once
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
for a touchdown.
Oh.
40-yard bomb for a touchdown.
There you go.
Awesome.
See? Yeah.
Walking off field.
Yeah. See, told you, coach.
I was just going to say, walks home, writes in diary, I told him so. That's awesome. Now, you were drafted then by the Lions in 2008,
Yeah.
right?
But I stayed, the year I got drafted, I stayed another year in college.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then you end up coming to, what was it like coming to kind of the home team, I guess, because you were in BC anyway?
Well, it was cool. It was awesome to come back there, but to be honest, I didn't really have any family left there anyway, so it was kind of like living away again anyways.
Okay.
I mean, I grew up a BC Lions fan, and so it was nice to come home, but to be honest, I only knew like a couple buddies from high school in Vancouver, and so I didn't really know hardly anybody coming back anyways, but I mean, that's what pro football is. You go meet some new people everywhere, right?
Yeah. Do you remember that first training camp? Like, how did that feel? I can only imagine it'd be a little nerve-wracking. Like,
it was tough because coming out of college, especially you go to a big college in the States, you think you don't know how good football is in Canada, especially the CFL, right? And so coming out of a big college in the States, I came back thinking that I was going to be really good compared to everybody else. And then again, there was that learning curve again, coming back out and getting into it, that you're not as good as you think you're going to be.
Okay.
And a lot of people realize that quickly when they come up to the CFL, a lot of Americans. Because essentially I was Americanized by then playing down there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All these Americans come up and think they're going to be starters right away and dominate, and that's just not the fact. The caliber of football is very high up here.
Yep. Yeah.
And slightly different rules as well, even for offensive linemen, a yard off the ball.
Yep.
Interesting. So 2014, you came to the Eskimos. What was it that drew you to Edmonton at that point?
My whole family, after I went to college, they all moved out to Red Deer. My dad, mom, brother,
Nice.
grandparents, cousins, a lot of
everybody.
people. Yeah.
Like, wow. And were they all on the island before? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, everybody lived in the island, and then everybody kind of came out to Alberta for work.
Oh, okay.
And so they all lived down the road in Red Deer, and so that was a really big draw for me to come to Edmonton because I mean, I'd moved away when I was 18 and hadn't been close to my family since then, right?
Yeah.
So that was a good draw. That was very nice for me to come home and be close to family.
All right. And what was it like when you walked in here? Like when you walked into Commonwealth, like was it
Turf district?
No, the Turf District. No,
You're walking
here
in your house?
in Edmonton, in Commonwealth. Sorry, that's what I meant. Like there's a lot of history, obviously,
Absolutely.
as you walk in. So what was that like?
Well, I mean, you kind of don't really know until you've been there for a while, just like any team, right? I mean, like obviously BC is tradition, Winnipeg is tradition, Saskatchewan, everybody is tradition. And so, but yeah, no, walking in here and especially being on the team for 5 years, you realize that Edmonton is a special place, and they really do have a deep tradition in football, and the fan base is great. I always say that whenever it's a city-owned team, there's always such a closer draw with the community, right? Because essentially, I mean, every member of the community is a taxpayer, and if you're a taxpayer, you're a part of the team, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, absolutely.
You're a very minority shareholder. Right?
Yeah, very minority.
That's a good way to look at it, though, as a fan, too, right? It's
you buy in a little bit more, right?
Right.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Good marketing.
Well, and that's why Winnipeg, Saskatchewan, and Edmonton have the best fan base, I think.
Right.
Yeah, because they're a little more invested as being part of it, right?
Just like Green Bay as well, right?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's super cool. So I assume one of your biggest highlights of playing with the Eskimos was the Grey Cup in 2015. But what were some of your best memories, like the week right after winning, and what were you feeling like after you actually won?
Well, I know one of the coolest feelings was like right after the game, the confetti coming down, all your family and friends rushing the field. And it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to us, too, because I'll tell you a story you guys probably don't know. Do you guys remember how we won that game?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
How?
The pass interference call.
And then it was a
You had to run the ball,
third
too.
and one on the 1 yard line.
Right.
Yeah.
And so McAdoo called a sneak to the left, and Matt O'Donnell's on the right side. I'm the center. Our starter was down. Greaves was in the left guard. James Lynch is the quarterback. I looked at him like, no, run sneak right. He's like, I can't. He told me to run this. And I held him like, James, you want to run behind Greaves? You want to run behind Matt? Like, which one makes more sense?
Whoa!
And so,
Wow.
yeah, and so we changed the play in the huddle because I told him to, and then we ran a sneak right.
No way! You guys did it.
Yeah. And he got in by like that, a couple inches.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That is like probably my favorite story so far. Dang!
I mean, I loved it that we were at the game and watching, and it's just you had the lead, and you guys had to run the clock, and you imposed your will on that defense. It was amazing.
Did you prefer when I'm jumping ahead maybe a little bit, but when you're playing as an offensive lineman, did you prefer run blocking or pass blocking? Like
Time and place.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you don't want to pass block all game.
Right.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Ask the BC Lions about that. Yeah.
We did that a few too many times. But,
Yeah.
no, but obviously, if you can instill a run game, then pass game is a whole lot easier.
Sure.
Yes.
If you're getting stuffed in a run game, it's not very much fun, and it makes the pass game a whole lot harder. If you don't run at all, then the pass game is going to be harder, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because if people are just pinning their ears back and running at you, it makes pass blocking a whole lot harder.
Yeah.
But especially if you're in first and second and 10 all the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you're in second and 5, it opens up your offense, and then the D lineman got to react a little more than just
Right.
coming straight ahead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So we talked about the Grey Cup. What about outside of the Grey Cup? Some other great memories you've had?
Well, my best memory is after me and my wife got engaged on the field after the BC Lions game, and that would have been 2017.
17?
Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, okay, yeah.
yeah.
Awesome.
So that was a pretty special moment for
No
me.
kidding.
Awesome.
Yeah, I would say that's a very special
Yeah.
moment. Especially because she did say yes. I mean, that would be an important part. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been as special if she said no.
Yeah, no, yeah. And that was,
Maybe later.
and that was like right on the right at the field level, right at the bottom of J or whatever, there where the
Exactly
family
right.
usually sits. Yeah.
I
Okay.
remember seeing pictures of that. That was very cute.
Yeah. It's awesome.
My whole family is there. My family comes to a lot of games, but there was like even more family there. So I told my wife, I'm like, I want to get some family photos afterwards.
Ah,
Very
well
sneaky.
done.
Yeah.
Well done. Was she actually like?
Yeah, she had no idea.
No idea.
Aw.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's awesome.
Did you want to? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, it's you.
What should have gave it away is I had a hand warmer on in July or start of September, I think it was.
Don't have any circulation. I'm really cold.
Yeah.
Dwayne's very helpful with those things here. Yeah, you need this. Yeah.
So, what do you think of the team this year?
They're doing good. I mean, they're pretty solid. Defense is good. Their offense is really good. I mean, look how fast Calero gets rid of the ball. It's a whole lot easier to pass block for that.
Yeah, absolutely. We've said that right from the beginning of the season is that there's a 1-2 count and it's gone.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Easier to hold the blocks for 2 seconds than 10.
Yeah. How exhausting was that for you? Like, I know Riley had a habit of holding onto the ball, so those extra 2 seconds must have just been like, after a while, like, oh my God, buddy, just get rid of it.
well,
Yeah, I mean, it's tough when you get beat on a second or third move.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If you get beat in the first move, then sure, that's on you.
Yeah, yeah.
But when you're getting beat in second and third moves, and then they're still getting there, then that's an issue of timing and getting the ball out off in time, right?
Right.
And yeah, I mean, the offensive line's playing well this year, but I mean, it'd be nice playing for him because that ball's out quick, and you don't have to worry about second and third moves.
Right.
I just exhausted watching you guys sometimes. Like, holy crap!
And there's balance, right? They're doing
totally.
using
And they're
more of a
running the ball.
CJ, right?
Yep.
So
Totally.
it's kind of nice for offensive linemen to get to be the hammer sometimes and not the
Totally.
nail all the time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, yeah, they're going to be very successful if they can keep up that
Right.
balance this year. I think Eskimos are going to be one of the best teams in the league. Should have beat Winnipeg, just couldn't score in the red zone.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Several choice
That's what we
chances.
said, yeah.
several, and
Lots
then
of,
some.
Lots of push-ups. Yeah.
But if they say Winnipeg's the best team right now, then Edmonton had more than enough chances to beat them.
Right,
So
yeah,
that's a good sign,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
We'll take it. We'll take it. Was there a particular player that you just kind of hated going up against?
Well, I mean, I don't say I hated going up against anybody because I was never scared of going up against anybody.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, Mondo's a grind every day in practice, as everybody knows. Because I respect Mondo. He's one of my very good friends. But Mondo only knows one speed, whether it's practice or game time. He goes full speed.
You can tell, yeah.
Whereas, like a lot of times, guys in practice don't go that hard, and then they put it on in the game, right? I can tell you lots of guys like that. But he's one of those guys where he works on his craft all the time. So if you're going against him, you got to make your chin strap. I'm sure your chin strap's done up.
I remember seeing a few practices where it'd be one-on-ones, you versus him, and it's just like, oh, it's going to be a clash of the Titans now.
Yeah, we never got mad at each other, though, because like I got in lots of fights in practice.
Right.
But rarely ever, not really ever against Mondo,
Right.
because we understood each other.
Yeah.
I know he was going to go hard, so I had to go hard.
Yep.
It's the guys who go soft, then hard, then soft. Those are the guys you get in fights with. Right?
Yeah.
pick what you're doing here, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't playing this both ways.
Play nicely or don't.
Yeah,
and then-
I'm cool with whatever you want to do. Just don't go back and forth.
Yeah. Consistency.
Yeah.
Did you have a team that you kind of, it's like, oh, I get so jacked up to play this team?
I mean, not really. Football is football, especially the end of my career. I mean, I still loved it, but it was a job too, right? So every day you go out there. I mean, obviously playing Calgary, everyone's always hyped up for that. But even in college, I was the same way. I treated every game the same.
Yeah.
There's no, I'm not really a big spike and peak and valley kind of guy. I play pretty straight laced, pretty calm, cool, and collected. And so that's how I always played. So no matter who I was playing, I approached it with the same mentality and went into the game the same way.
Awesome.
I want to know something for the Labor Day games, because I know for like fans, especially, well, particularly my group, like Labor Day is almost the pinnacle of the season because it's so much fun going to Calgary. We always go to Calgary, then we come back down and watch the rematch. Does it resonate on field too? Like, can you feel that a little bit more of an anticipation or a clash, if you will?
Again, everybody, it's for the fans that get so hyped up for it, right? Because they want to create that rivalry. But I mean, some players treat it differently. I never did. Like even in college, the Carolina Clemson game, which is our huge in-state rivalry game, all the fans are crazy. As a player, it's a game, right?
Right.
And if you start treating games differently, then you shouldn't, because you should be approaching every game in the same way.
Yeah.
And you should. It's not like you'd go watch an extra hour of film for one game and not another one.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you don't, I better get one more lift in this week. We're playing so-and-so. No, you should get that extra lift in every week.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like you shouldn't change your routine and how you approach everything just for one team or another team.
Right.
It should stay consistent the whole way through. And not every player is like that, but that's how I always played it and how I always treated things.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting insight, because I, as fans, we only know of, okay, this is the game. You gotta go get them, right? And then we get all excited. But
because as a fan, if you're playing Montreal, you don't care. But as a player, you still got to play good. Or
Yeah.
You can't play worse if you're playing Montreal just because the fans don't care about the game.
2 points is 2 points in the standing.
Exactly.
That's very true.
Although it was pretty sweet in 2015 beating Calgary finally.
Oh, it did. Oh, it was lovely.
Oh, that was a good night.
After the game, it feels
Yeah.
wonderful.
So
Yeah,
great.
Exactly. Tell us a little bit. We talked a bit about it on the Periscope, but like the brotherhood on the O-line, because lots of guys, of course, are back this year that you played with before, and you obviously keep in contact, like you said. But just for people who weren't watching that, like the brotherhood is such a big deal on the offensive line.
Yeah, for sure, because we're a group that doesn't necessarily get a lot of love or a lot of recognition, so you kind of look out for each other, right? And we're kind of a group that nobody messes with. Everybody kind of steers clear or treats us well, if you will, because you don't hear our names getting called out very often, and so we look out for each other, and we're the grinders out there. We're your blue collar people, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not flashy, we're not fancy, we're not wearing different colored cleats or whatnot. We're the workhorses who go out there and just work, right?
Right.
And so you look out for each other because a lot of times nobody else is looking out for you. So
that's a good way to put it.
We've actually had another fan on, Paul Reckner. And he had a suggestion that we have a lot of people that go on the Wall of Honor, for example, and they've had a few offensive linemen go, and he said that's the only group where they should just all go in as a group. Yeah. Have those 5 guys that happen to be there go on instead of this guy and this guy and sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know if I agree with that because there could be a guy that was on the team for 1 year. He doesn't deserve to go up there. Or there's, maybe a guy who doesn't play as much as everybody else.
Sure.
I think that there definitely deserves to be offensive linemen out there, but it's your guys who are played for multiple years, who are part of the community, did a big part of the Edmonton Eskimo and the city, right? I think that those are the guys that deserve to go up there, and the guys that up there are guys like that,
right?
Who played here for a long time, played well, played at a high level, and were also heavily involved in the community.
Yeah,
and so that's the guys I think that belong up there. I think sometimes some guys who don't have all those traits go up there as well, just because they were great players, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But that's my piece on it.
For sure.
That's fair. Yeah.
So do you still watch the games fairly closely now, or is it just more as a passive, like as a fan?
I I obviously look at the game different than anybody. Anyways, we went to the season opener, and everyone around me is like, because I'm like, oh, that's what happened. They're like, how do you know that? I'm like, because I see the game differently.
Right.
Yeah.
I was down there. Yeah, exactly.
I can tell you what goes right or wrong on every snap.
Yeah.
And then I don't necessarily watch the same things everybody else watches, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, so now I'm kind of in between the player and the fan or the coach or whatever you want, right? And so yeah, I'll always see the game differently, but yeah, I'm a fan now watching it just like everybody else.
Nice.
Would you consider coaching?
Not really.
No.
No stability.
Right.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
You're hired to be fired.
Yeah, and we like it. We like Edmonton. We're not trying to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
When I have kids, I'll probably coach my kids. But even I've been asked to go help coach a couple high schools and stuff like that, and it's just too much time away from your family. It's such a commitment.
Yeah.
I can't give up 4 nights a week with a young wife, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, totally makes sense.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk more about the team now when we get to the game preview. But my favorite question whenever we have somebody here is, what does the Eskimo way mean to you?
Kind of what I said about it being a city-owned team and everybody in the community being a part of it. I think the Eskimo way is just being a good person, being involved, and especially as a player. Like when I came into the league, one of my main goals was to be involved in the community, and so
you did a lot of it.
Every team I played on, I was very heavily involved. And when I came to the Eskimos, I went to Rose and Amy and all those people. I said, I want to do as much as possible. I go paid, unpaid, I don't care. I just want to get out there and help people. So I remember when I was a kid, I remember these people come into our gym and talk to us and whatever, and I'm like, wow, I thought that was amazing. These people take time out of their busy lives to come and speak to us, and so that was always one of my goals when I got here. And so I really enjoyed how much the Edmonton is a part of the community, and so being in the Eskimo way to me was not only on the field but off the field as well. How you carry yourself in your community, the things you do, how much you help out, and just giving everything you can back possible. Even now, I still I talk to Andrew Jones, who's the community relations guy there now, and I'm like, hey, if any of your guys can't go out, if you guys are busy and you can't do something and you need me to go out, so I've already done a few things for him, even though
that's awesome.
I'm just a bystander now, but
nice.
Still trying to help out as much as I can. I think that's the Eskimo way, just everybody being together in the community and trying to help each other out and do the best we can.
Absolutely.
That is outstanding.
That's a great answer.
That great answer. We're going to take a quick break in a second, but before we do, I was able to catch up with Larry Dean this week at practice, so let's catch up with him really quickly. All right, we are joined now by brand new middle linebacker to the Edmonton Eskimos this year, Mr. Larry Dean. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Doing very well. Tell us a little bit about first coming to Edmonton and kind of how that came together for you and what drew you to be part of the Eskimos.
As you know, I was a free agent, so I had a couple different opportunities. Just after talking with my family, my supporting cast, people that I believe and trust in, we all felt that this was the best opportunity. Of course, I have ties with Coach Lally, and just after speaking with Mr. Brock and Coach Moss, definitely felt like it was a place that I could come play.
Awesome. And at the time, did you know that your partner in Don Unamba was going to be coming as well?
Yeah, we had spoke during the off season or whatever, just brushing some ideas by each other. But definitely when I told him how strongly I was considering coming here, he definitely was like, well, you just let me know, Cap, and whatever you do, I'm coming. So we knew what was up.
Wow. Okay, so now you call Cap there. You are kind of taking over as the captain of the defense. Do you like that leadership role? Is that something that you wanted from the beginning? Is it something you just fall into? What did you find?
I don't mind it. I mean, it doesn't. I don't go outside my box to be that guy. It's just something that's kind of just. I've just had the knack for it. Been blessed to have the knack for it, and like I said, it's just a great opportunity.
Awesome. So now let's go way back. When did you start playing football, and kind of what drew you to the game?
Since I was a knee-high baby, man. Football been a part of my life for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I always been a fan of the sport also, but I have uncles that played football. My older brother played football, cousins and whatnot, so was always just on the sidelines watching, you know what I'm saying, seeing them do drills and everything like that. So I've always been a part of it.
Awesome. So now, as you came up, I can't remember what year it was you came into the CFL, but did you know anything about the CFL before you got here?
not as much. Yeah, not really. Briefly, just that it was another league, another opportunity. But as far as the rules and all the nuances, not at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did you find was the hardest adjustment when you got up here?
Just being a defensive player, with the field being wider, your pursuit angles. I was either overrunning a lot of things my first year or under judging it. Okay. But I think that was the biggest thing for me with the pursuit angle. Everybody think the waggle motion would be, but once you win the game, you just come accustomed to that. So.
And what about the 20-second clock? Was that a little harder?
Nah, that's on your conditioning. That's on your conditioning and your ability to communicate and break the information down fast. So just have to be able to decipher through that. But other than that, it didn't bother me.
All right. Okay. So now you've come up here. You're in Edmonton. What's it been like playing with this linebacking core? Because it seems to be kind of rotating. Where now you've got Vontae Diggs and you've got Brian Walker in. What's it been like in this core?
It's been fun. Like I say, any opportunity that I had to play the game of football, I'm going to relish in it. You know what I'm saying? No matter who's beside me, you know what I'm saying? Or, we just had the opportunity, and at the end of the day, the continuity of the defense. So, it's like a puzzle piece. It's always the next guy up mentality, and, things happen. That's the game of football, and, you don't pray for it, but you welcome it because you understand that's the game, and guys just have to be ready.
Awesome. What's the best part about playing defense? And did you play any other positions before, or was it always defense?
I played a little quarterback, a little bit of quarterback. Okay. I played a little bit of receiver, early high school days and whatnot. But for the most part, I always been defense. I was both way player in high school, but okay. Yeah, I always had a knack for defense, love for defense. I don't know, just to be that aggressor, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Just.
Nothing like hitting guys.
Yeah, see ball, get ball, man. See ball, get ball.
I like that. Yeah. All right, let's find out a little bit about you outside of things. When you're not playing football, what do you like doing?
Man, I'm real mellow off the field. I'm low-key. I just be chilling, for real. I just like to chill up. I know it sounds cliché, but I'm either watching some film or something or just kick back, watching a little Netflix or something, probably just chilling.
Okay. What are you watching on Netflix these days?
Right now, a couple of my teammates, Ashley B. Walk, he told me about a show called Peaky Blinders. So I've been watching Peaky Blinders, and right now, when we get time, I'll be looking for, I think it might drop today, the new episode, the new season of Snowfall.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so But other than that, it's season time, so it'll be buried in the film for the most part.
You into the Stranger Things? That just started back again, too.
I heard about it, but like I say, man, you probably have time to watch maybe one, you know what I'm saying, one series at a time. And besides doing the film, watching your film and everything, that's a TV show in itself. You know what I'm saying? You find different things to watch every week on your pony. So, yeah, I don't have too much downtime to just kick it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Makes sense. What do you like to listen to? What kind of music you like?
I'm from the South, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really a hip-hop head, though, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I like listening to rap, I like listening to hardcore rap.
Okay.
I don't know.
Hey, if that gets you fired up, that's good.
Yeah, not even that. I just understand their stories, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying, what they going through or whatever. I can listen to it from a different point of view. And I just appreciate it that they could take that content and put it into a musical platform. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I could dig a little R&B sometime. When I was younger, my mom used to play a little R&B and stuff like that. But for the most part, I'm hip-hop.
Okay. Nope, that's good. Favorite food? Something you like to eat?
I'm from the South, so there's going to be some comfort food. There's going to be some southern, you know what I'm saying, some southern comfort food, man. But other than that, maybe some chicken wings.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, 10-piece, fried hard, man. I like all my wings fried hard. I don't want no runny chicken or nothing like that. Probably lemon pepper flavor. Lemon pepper, yeah.
Oh, you're speaking my language. That's perfect.
Something similar that they have here, like the salt and pepper.
Yeah.
The salt and pepper wings, something like that. But yeah, that's me, 10-piece lemon pepper.
Awesome.
Fried hard.
Awesome. All right, last one for you. What's it been like being in Edmonton, and what does the Eskimo way mean to you at this point?
Man, it's been cool. It's been welcoming. You know what I'm saying? It's a rich tradition around here, a lot of history, a lot of guys that have put on the uniform that, you know, paved the way and whatnot. But for the most part, we still finding our way. And, you know, that they've set the bar so high, you know, that the people that have came before us, and we know that we're just standing on shoulders and just paying homage, you know what I'm saying? So it's been welcoming. It's been cool.
Well, this is awesome, and we wish you, of course, the best of luck in BC this week.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate that.
Hey, this is Earthquaku, and you're listening to the Eskimo Empire Podcast.
You can join the Empire online.
Find us at eskempire.ca.
Check out all the new blogs and then follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
For more history, follow at Esks History on Twitter.
And even more of my pics on Esk Empire Photo.
Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to help the pod grow. Thanks again for listening. Let's get back to the show. Welcome back, and I want to give thanks to Larry Dean for joining me there. For as ferocious as he is on the field, what a mellow conversation! It was just like, holy cow, you're so laid back. I was waiting for the energy, and it was just like, no, he's just good. Okay, this is cool. We're
just chill,
just having a nice, easy conversation. It was great, but really nice guy, and always nice when we're chatting and make him snicker a little bit and then carry on. So
Moss made him one of the captains this year too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and he's kind of taken over on that defensive role for sure. So now, before we get to the Esks history, let's take a quick second to talk about being part of the Alberta Podcast Network. We talked about all the variety of options in the network last week. This week, I want to talk about another Edmonton podcast to be kind of right up our alley. It's called the Northern Nerdcast.
Oh my God.
Oh, I know. It's so exciting, right? It's hosted by Dan and Chelsea, and they showcase all the local nerdy and geeky people and events around Edmonton. So
fantastic.
I thought, well, this is
right up our alley.
Yeah, right up our alley. So last week, Dan actually recorded live and went over his top 10 nerdy things to do over the summer. And then the show before that, they actually caught up with a local game developer, The Frozen Machine, and talked about developing some of the different online games and stuff.
Was Anime-thon in the top 10?
Absolutely it
okay.
was. Yes, so
check mark on him.
Extra points. Yeah, I knew that would be good. So get your geek on with Northern Nerdcast, and of course check out all the other great shows at albertapodcastnetwork.com. It is that time once again as we travel back into history with the Eskimo History Moment.
Let's hear you cheer and holler for a mighty famous team. Let's hear you roar, you know what, for a team that's on the beat. Our voices rise up to the skies, the fans are glad to scream. We love those Eskimos.
Welcome back to the Eskimos History Moment. After the 1956 Canadian Football All-Star Game, 4 players for the Saskatchewan Rough Riders and 1 for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers perished, along with 57 others, when their flight from Vancouver to Calgary slammed into Mount Slessy near Chilliwack. In the aftermath of this devastation, the families of center Mel Beckett and guard and former Eskimo Mario DeMarco donated a trophy the following year to be known as the DeMarco Beckett Memorial Trophy, awarded to the most outstanding lineman in the Western Football Conference. In the 1950s and 60s, however, many linemen actually lined up on both sides of the ball. You could be a center on offense, but a defensive tackle when you switched to defense. A defensive end, when the other team had the ball, switched to a receiver when their team was on offense.
Sounds exhausting.
Yes. As a result, the term lineman went to whomever was considered most outstanding on either side of the ball, for both the DeMarco Beckett Memorial Trophy and the CFL's Most Outstanding Lineman Award. As the 1960s progressed, fewer and fewer players went both ways, but the award still tended to go to players who specialized on defense, while the offensive linemen toiled away in relative obscurity.
Sounds about right.
To make things even tougher, linemen included not only what we now think of as the defensive line, but also included the 3 to 4 linebackers, making an offensive player winning the award even more of an improbability. From 1962 to 72, no offensive lineman won either the DeMarco Beckett nor the Eastern equivalent, the Leo Dandurand Award, and in 1973, Montreal's offensive tackle Ed George broke the streak, taking the Eastern trophy, but again lost the league-wide award to BC linebacker Ray Nettles. Frustrated by the lack of representation for what many consider to be the most underappreciated role in football, George worked with another offensive tackle from the West to make things right. Within a year, the 2 divisional trophies, along with the CFL's Most Outstanding Lineman Award, were to be awarded solely to the linemen on offense, finally allowing recognition to the players who had lined up every snap to protect their quarterback, open lanes for rushers, and generally go unnoticed by many fans unless a defensive player gets through. Ed George won the first ever CFL's Most Outstanding Offensive Lineman Trophy, and in 1975 it went to his partner who fought along with him for the offense, the Eskimos' great Charlie Turner. Charlie Turner initially came to the CFL in 1967 after starring for Ohio and a time with the AFL's Buffalo Bills, joining the Hamilton Tiger Cats. His first ever game was at Civic Stadium in Hamilton on August 12, 1967 in a 20-14 loss to the Edmonton Eskimos. Turner anchored the line for the Tiger Cats, but they ended up trading him, along with defensive back Ted Page, to the Eskimos on June 8, 1971 for much-needed national help at linebacker. Turner immediately solidified the tackle position for the Eskimos, but their offense couldn't get on track for his debut season in green and gold. After going 1-10 to open the 1971 season, they finally got things right and finished the season with 5 straight wins, making the fans hunger once again for next year. With Charlie Turner playing at the tackle spot, he protected first Bruce Lemmerman, then Tom Wilkinson, and eventually Warren Moon for 8 years, taking an import spot at a place where most teams of the period wanted to go All-Canadian. Turner so impressed both his team and the rest of the league, he was named an All-Star at the tackle position for 4 consecutive years from 1972 through 1975, making the All-Canadian team for the last 3 of those seasons, culminating in the league's top honor at the position with the Most Outstanding Offensive Lineman Award in 1975. Turner played 3 more years in green and gold, and after the Eskimos signed fellow American Mike Wilson to play tackle prior to the 1979 season, replacing stalwart Willie Martin, the rumor was that they wanted to promote Canadian Big Bill Stevenson to right tackle, leaving Turner on the outside looking in. After playing the 1979 preseason with Edmonton, Turner begrudgingly retired on July 4th, feeling that he still had plenty of game left to give, but no spot to play in. Former Eskimo coach Ray Yock convinced him to come out of retirement for his Winnipeg Blue Bombers on August 16th, however, just in time to face his former team, but Winnipeg were thumped 41-13 in his first game back in the league. Turner played 9 more games before hanging them up for good, his final game against the same team he faced in his first ever game, the Edmonton Eskimos back at Commonwealth Stadium. Turner still lives in the Edmonton area, and in retirement took his passion for art into an area most people may not expect for a hulking 6+ foot lineman with a bit of a nasty streak. He illustrated children's books written by his wife, and his paintings have adorned numerous stories that are enjoyed by young readers everywhere. Charlie Turner helped shine the spotlight on an otherwise unappreciated position in Canadian football and protected the most important people in football game after game, year after year. Perhaps Eskimo fans will one day get to cheer on number 60 one last time if he ever earns his well-deserved place on the Wall of Honor here at Commonwealth. Either way, the big men in the trenches across the league owe a debt of gratitude for the pioneers who came before them and paved the way for them to get the appreciation they all richly deserve.
Going for a touchdown. Going for a touchdown. Going for a touchdown. We love those Eskimos.
You had me at children's books. That was so sweet.
Wow. That was.
I don't know if we're still getting the appreciation now.
Well, it's true. At least you're getting an award finally. It's not just going to the defense.
That's true.
I actually you talked about all the things that they do in the community, and that's when I was 8 years old. He came to my school.
Nice.
And again, he was massive and black as night, and he was the gentlest guy and after seeing him play, like, he was hitting guys left, right, and center. So, yeah, he's always just been my favorite guy.
Yeah. Yeah, something about those number 60s. I don't know.
It's true.
Big guys with a bit of a nasty streak if you have to have it.
There's already a 60 on the wall, too.
I know.
Yeah.
Chris Morris.
Yeah. Did you find, like, when people would say that, oh, you play with a bit of a nasty streak, was that like an okay thing?
Compliment?
Was it a compliment, or was it like, what do you mean?
Yeah, it's definitely a compliment because you don't want to be a soft offensive
Right? Fold like a pancake.
Yeah,
but we have had guys like that.
Oh, no doubt. I've known lots over the years.
Sure.
But no, I mean, I think a good offensive lineman does play with a nasty streak because, I mean, you got to turn it on when you need to, and especially as an offensive lineman, like, you need to have that mean side of you. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, I'm a calm, gentle person off the field.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. But on the field, I think I played with a nasty streak, and I definitely got in the middle of a lot of stuff, and I think that adds to your game because generally, too, like, if you're not the most skilled person out there, you better be mean to make up for it, right?
But if you can be both, it's even better.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So is that where Bone comes from then?
Well, I mean, it's a whole group thing.
Are we? I don't know.
It's been around from the early 80s.
Yeah.
Right?
Before, late 70s.
But you always need a nasty streak, so I'm just wondering if that's...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Originally, it was the defensive line. They were called Alberta Crude in the sort of early mid-70s, and then they changed it to Bone, and then that just became the whole team.
Oh, okay.
Motto,
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Superfan. That was awesome. Very nice. Let's get to some Esks news before the game preview here. So T-Sniper gets Player of the Month.
Dang.
No yeah, he had a good month, let's be real.
I did pretty well. Yeah. It's because he gets that ball out so quickly. Right?
Yeah.
That's right. Other big announcement came today. Cheap seats.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So $22?
$22 general admission.
Kids get in free for the summer.
Yeah, kids get in free throughout the summer up until the Labor Day return game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it sounds like they're going to take off the advertising in the end zones, and people can actually sit and stand.
That's where the seats will be. Yeah.
Good.
That to me is that's what we've been saying for a long time.
A lot of people have been.
$20 seats, get in, fill that lower bowl.
Makes sense. I mean, especially if people can't afford it, like $20. I mean, that's not outrageous.
That's really nothing.
No.
Right?
You can afford to take your family to games, which I think is great.
I mean, family of 3 kids is only $100, right? Or kids are free, so even then it's $44 to get the parents in.
Yeah. And then you get the kids in that you can become season ticket holders down the line, right?
Yeah.
Like that's where I think we can all say this is that was where we fell in love with the game, is when we were going when you were 10 years old and 11 years old, and it was a treat to go. I know you were a little bit later, but it's still like it's getting.
That's how you build your fan base.
You get in, and that's what sucks. You just finished talking about Charlie Turner that came to your school and was such an impression on you. For me, it was going to that game with UT and seeing, Warren Moon knock over Marco Sinkar with a pass. Like, it was like you are in at that point, right?
Yeah.
And so then you turn into the people who want to watch it years and years down the road. So.
I've got to think it makes a difference as a player when you've got 40,000 people versus 20,000 people yelling.
Again, you play the game, you play the game. 'Cause
right.
You got to Toronto and there's 8,000 people there, and it's not like you play worse, right?
That's true.
But it definitely hypes you up. Like when you're on defense, if you have 40,000 people screaming, that definitely makes a difference in a game.
Yeah. Right.
As an offensive player,
you're like, shut up.
Everybody drunk at an Eskimo game. Quiet down while the guys are playing here.
Yeah. That's what I liked about going to BC is you could always just go, let's go Eskimos while they're on offense, and they'll start coming back with let's go Lions.
Yeah. Super smart fans.
Yeah.
Super knowledgeable football people.
Yeah. Works out real well. So yeah, get your cheap tickets and come on down.
It's a really great perspective too, by the way. And the end zone, like it's not
for $20. Absolutely.
Well, even like I usually start the game out there. Yeah, it's really cool. I like it. Down.
No, I think it's going to be great. Mm-hmm. I think it's very, very cool.
Is it for the upper deck too?
I think it's just that general seating admission standing is just in that standing.
I think down there. I would assume that if it's successful, then they'll probably open up
some of the
corners there.
Yeah,
upper decks and stuff.
Would make sense.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
A few roster moves to talk about. Hakuna Matata is back on the active roster.
Yes, sir.
That's what we call Christoph Mullen-Shimanga. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Off the 6th game. Blair Smith, unfortunately, to the 6th game injured list. We get one back and one goes off again.
So he's off early.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is off early, which is fine by me. Yeah. Killer on special teams. So
For sure.
I'm excited to see him and Nate just go crazy going down there on specials.
Lose a good one too, though.
And Blair Smith, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Kelsey Quarles got released. And then today they did sign international offensive lineman Eric Lofton to the PR. So kind of making sure there's some backups around. It was nice to see actually at practice when we saw Jacob Ruby was back.
Yes.
Playing in that guard spot.
And congrats to him for baby boy.
It's a boy. It's a boy.
Loved how they told him.
That was
that was so cool.
That was a pretty cool idea. But yeah, no, he's back. I actually like that the balance with those three guys in the middle there, with Beard and Ruby and Maddie. I know you're a big Matt O'Donnell fan because you guys are friends, but
and he's excellent.
But he is excellent.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. What was it like playing against a guy like that? Like he's one of the few playing with him.
Yeah.
Like
side by side
against him.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, side by side with him. Yes.
It makes your job a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
Especially like we're both so tall and big that
right.
Passing off games and stuff like that makes it a whole lot easier, especially if we get into a double team together. People aren't going anywhere, or we're driving them down the field, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice playing with a guy like that, and he's super smart too. So if you ever make a wrong call or you don't see something, he usually helps you out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, okay. Like I know he helps Beard out quite a bit with Beard's calls and stuff like that. So,
awesome.
Okay. Cool.
Which is good. Yeah, he's very knowledgeable, very smart in the game too, which is very beneficial to have a guy like that beside you as a center.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like you too? Like when I see him at fan day, he looks so nice and gentle. But then on the field, is he just like, it's go time?
No, he's kind of calm and laid back all the time.
Yeah,
and he's more of a back row kind of person. He doesn't like to be the center of attention.
Okay.
Whereas I don't necessarily mind sometimes.
Right. Yeah. It's hard for someone who's 6'11" to not be the center of attention, I suppose. But.
Yeah, but that's he's very, very laid back all the time.
Right.
On and off the field. Like he plays hard and he's good, but he's not. He rarely gets mad or
get in your face kind
of guy. I was more of that kind of guy.
Right.
So you shove someone over. Sorry.
He just kind of turns and
No, he plays hard. Like he'll knock people over, but then he just turns and walks back.
And that's what I mean. I've seen him he totally run a guy down and then just gets up and is just like, walk back over here. Yeah.
Exactly.
Crushed that guy on the interception.
Oh yeah, that was a couple years ago.
Yeah, that was
Montreal.
Yeah.
And then he just walked off we're done.
That was good. Yeah.
Doing my job, Pete.
Guys folded in half in fetal position. I just got hit by a truck. Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right, let's talk about our game preview. So the Esks go into BC for Thursday night game at 8 o'clock local time. Now, BC's coming off a bit of a short week, and the Esks are coming off a bye. Esks off the bye has always been a little bit hit and miss.
Slow starts.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. But BC gets their first win last week via the Rouge.
Against Toronto, too.
Yeah.
And if it would have been in another stadium, there would have been a 20-yard end zone instead of the 18 they have at BMO. So.
Exactly right.
It was a question, actually. I got that from co-host Josh. That he asked me, he said, so if it's a regulation, if that's in BC Place, is that game in overtime? Like,
possibly. I mean...
Well, likely.
Well, thanks to the special teams nightmare in Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Weren't there some coaches there? Okay, well, I'll just leave it there. Yeah,
I think Grant Shaw spoke enough for that.
Yeah, I think so.
You think? No. He's so quiet about it.
Yeah.
It's an interesting... I mean, I don't think there was any way he could have avoided it unless he was in a... If he was in a regulation and he had... Rainy, yeah. If there was 2 more yards...
You should have your kickout team in there as well.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? So, yes. I mean... Especially, and then the first one before the penalty, they didn't even have anybody in the end zone.
Right. Yeah,
like
exactly.
That's crazy to me.
Well, and there was then there's a penalty, and it goes through, and then the next one, whoop, just to the side, and you could tell though as soon as he caught it, and his foot came down, he's like, damn it, I tried to.
You got to know where that line.
Yeah,
is.
he's a heck of a player, but he didn't do a great job on that. But again, if you have a kickout team in there, there's 3 guys back there, and then maybe you don't have to worry as much, right? And or you don't have to spread out as much. You don't have to adjust as much in the ball, and then you can have better awareness where your feet are.
That's very true. Very true.
Is it not regulatory to have each end zone the same then? Or is this BMO field is just different because they use it for like FC, right? They use it for FC, don't they? So
it's just not feasible to have the full end zone there.
Right.
Okay.
That's
and
right.
so they make an adjustment because of what they have available.
Gotcha.
That's right.
Commonwealth for years had to round it off because of the track.
I remember that because the fire
when we had
truck
the CFL USA, they had short end zones. And
And now most everybody except for BMO is pretty much regulation.
Consistent,
Well, that's okay. At least it cost the home team. That's horrible. I shouldn't say that. Anyway, no, it's fine.
That was a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
Kind of, actually.
I was
I'd have been okay for
sad.
BC to lose again, too.
Well, and because Toronto came back, right? Toronto came back. I was like, no. Oh,
what does it tell you about your offensive line when Toronto gets 3 sacks on you?
Yeah, I mean, their D-line's not super great. But
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
their BC's O-line might have a tough time again this week.
They're having a rough... Yeah, I have a feeling.
Oh, well.
God,
I'm okay with that.
All right, let's talk about our Uncle BD stats moment. Now, co-host Kenny needs a total of 1 yard to have 2,000 yards as an Eskimo.
Way to go, Mr. Stafford.
So I'm pretty sure that happens.
Just yet.
Yeah, he should get 1.
At least 1, yeah.
Yeah, I would think so. And of course, CJ Gable was actually the CFL rushing yards leader his last 3 outings.
All 3 games, yeah.
I would expect for him to shoot for that again this week, especially if they start coming around the far sides. They can come up the middle as well, but Herdman's kind of coming into his own game there up the middle, as we saw him pop Rainey on special teams.
That was a big hit.
Oh, it was a huge hit. And there's a lot of debate right now if that was helmet, shoulder. It was mostly shoulder, I think.
His helmet led through the ball, and then he got a piece of the helmet with his helmet. But, I mean, to me, that's not an illegal hit because he pushed through the ball, and then that was an aftershock of what happened, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't head-to-head. It was head through the ball and then head and shoulder in the head.
Because his shoulder caught him here and then came up. Right?
Exactly.
But, man, I tell you, that
was a smoker.
Oh, it was a great hit.
It just depended who was a referee.
It's a good.
Depending how Randy feels that week.
Yeah, if that's entirely possible. It could be the case. All right, now our CFPN game preview will return next week because we wanted to have extra time with Justin to talk about this game. Now, the first question I ask, is this kind of the definition of a trap game for the Eskimos coming off the bye on a team that's having some struggles right now? Yes, they did get a win and they're coming off a short week, but is it a trap game?
I don't necessarily think so, because I don't think anybody thinks that BC is a bad team.
Right.
It's a whole new coaching staff, whole new set of players and stuff, and so it takes time to gel on something like that, right? And so I don't necessarily think people think BC's bad. They got lots of great players. They just haven't really come together yet. So I doubt they're thinking like it's an easy game or an easy win, because it's still Mike Riley and
it's in BC,
and it's in BC, and Mike can always find ways to win. You know.
Well, you'd be dumb to underestimate the Lions
I agree.
team, right?
Wholeheartedly agree. Yeah.
Look what happened to us last year.
Yeah, that was those were tough ones out in BC for sure.
Yeah, BC's always tough to play in.
It is.
Yeah. Is it different because now it's really the only indoor stadium? Does that make a difference, or is it not really that much of a difference?
It's nice when it's cold, but in the summer it doesn't really make that much of a difference, I don't think.
Those late games, that'd be nice in BC.
Oh yeah, that's
a Saskatchewan.
Yeah, we never get late BC games.
Nope.
No, it's always
Saskatchewan end of the year.
That's right. Yeah, back to back.
Like everyone's dream.
Yay! That's so exciting. I guess it's not Winterpeg, but it's whatever. Anyway,
Saskatchewan's as cold as Winnipeg.
Yeah, it was pretty freaking cold in Regina 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
At least you got to wear warm clothes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I don't know how y'all can do it.
You can do it's getting out in any game, I'm sure, when it's that cold is not fun.
Snowsuit and padding, like, hot.
Nice. All right, well, let's talk about keys to the game for the Eskimos. Commissioner, let's start with you.
Sure. Well, like I always say when you're playing Mike Riley, you have to keep him off his feet.
Off his feet.
Off his feet. I was like, on his feet. No, that's
happen.
not right. Keep him unbalanced. Keep him holding the ball, definitely giving the defensive line time to explode and come around and throw the blitz in his face and get maybe 8 sacks this time. Maybe. Hopefully. Knock on wood.
We took away the penalties last time. It would have been like 11.
It would have been. Yeah.
No penalty. Well, that's impossible. Lighten the penalties. Lighten the penalties, please.
That's a good way to
But I also want to see special teams really pick up their pace. And I don't know, maybe Martise Jackson, can you return one and get a touchdown? Yeah, that'd be great.
When was the last time Eskimos returned a touchdown?
That would be Kendall Lawrence.
Yeah. 2015?
Yeah. So it's time. I think it's time.
Yeah. Well, not including preseason, yeah.
Well, preseason doesn't count.
Yeah.
Nope, sure doesn't. That'll never show up in the stats.
We all know that.
Yeah. The preseason, whatever. Yeah. Exactly.
Who's playing in those games?
Exactly.
Not starters usually.
Nope.
What would you say are the keys to the game for the Esks in this one?
Yeah, I think she pretty close hit it on the head there. I think establishing the run game and keeping the offense consistent and spreading it out between the pass and the run is huge. And then, just keeping Mike contained. If the DBs can hold up and give the D-line time to get there, that's a really big thing. And Mike's going to try and throw the deep ball, so if you can get there before he can, then that's a huge key to the game.
Absolutely. Superfan?
Yeah, I mean, they both said pretty much everything.
Yeah. Sorry.
I think what I love about this season is CJ Gable hasn't had the greatest stats in the first quarter for the 3 games we've played, but they've stuck with it.
Yes.
And they've kept it going, and he just keeps hammering away at it, and he's broken through, and I think it's kept the defense is honest, because they know that we're just going to keep running that ball, and it doesn't hurt that we're usually ahead at that point, so you can afford to run the ball. But if you keep that up, I think it's going to go a long way.
I feel like you give
go ahead.
The players confidence too, knowing that you have the trust in them to this is going to start slow, but I got the faith that you just keep pushing and we'll get there. But like you said, having that extra few points in the positive helps.
I don't know if the stats ever shown, but generally running backs don't make a lot of yards in the first quarter or even the first half. Generally, they usually do most of their work in the second half. You look at Calgary's rushing Cornish and Messam for all those years, I'd say probably 70% of the yards were in the second half of games. Right. Because the first part of a game, you got to get a feel for what's happening, what's going on, and then also start to wear down that defense, right? Because once you kind of get a feel for what they're doing, that's when you really start breaking open plays and start getting guys in their toes and tired and stuff, and that's when running backs really start to eat.
Right. Yeah. And now, you as offensive linemen who kind of know that, as you get into that second half, is it like, okay, now we're coming, to kind of open those spots? Or they get tired too, so you can start pushing them back a little bit more. And then, like I said, it's just getting a feel for them at the start of the game,
because every week they come up with new schemes and stuff, but once you can kind of figure out their schemes and you can expose them for what they're doing, and that's just halftime adjustments, and that's usually why that starts to work as well.
Excellent. I'm gonna mimic everything you guys said, but I'm also gonna just reiterate the penalties. We got to get them at least a little bit under control, and we're not gonna stop them all. And then that was my next one.
I kind of figured
less push-ups. If the ball hits you in the hands, please catch it.
Yes,
that would be great for me. Yeah, I would appreciate that. I promise you, I will cheer really loud from the stands as long as you catch it.
Do you want my cowbell?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to let me take that on a plane. Would they?
Why not?
Sure.
It's not a weapon.
Yeah.
Just don't ring it in the stick in the cabin.
That's fair.
And wear that cowboy hat we discussed.
No, I am not.
And you'll get away with it.
I'm
a cowboy.
It's country night. I am so not.
Come on.
I don't understand.
Yeah, Tim Hicks, right?
Sure. I don't know. I'm gonna be on the concourse finding food. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
And a cold beer.
Yeah. And exactly. Yeah.
That is a country song.
Do they have that burger?
That sounds like a country song to me.
I'm sure there is one. A cold beer on the concourse.
Are you going to get that burger? Do they have it every game?
Oh, I'm not getting that enormous burger. No, that's
$83 in your pocket.
Yeah.
Is it $83?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's massively expensive.
Hot dogs,
also,
chicken fingers.
I looked at it and I'm like,
bigger than your head.
I don't need to barf while I'm out there. I mean, that's a lot of food.
If you're not going to wear a dang cowboy hat.
No, not happening. Not happening.
What is he, a Stampeders fan?
Exactly.
What?
What, a cowboy hat?
I'm not. I have no cowboy hats.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The only CFL fans wear cowboy hats.
That's right.
Exactly. Or the Stampeder fans.
Yeah. I don't understand.
Silly. I have boots, not a hat. I'll lend you my boots.
I mean, I have boots and a hat too, but I don't wear them to a football game.
Come on, it's Western night.
Yeah, I don't care what night it is. No, I am not wearing those at all because it's just that. Yeah, no, that's just another way to make me look horrible. I know.
That's why I want you to do it.
I don't need more opportunities for that to happen. All right, any players we are watching this game? Superfan.
Oh God, everybody.
Could you narrow it down?
Yeah, we got possibly Deveris Daniels coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I am looking forward to seeing what he can do. It's his first regular season game, so as an Eskimo. So I'm looking forward to see what he can bring.
Was he on the 6 at the very first preseason game?
Yes.
Just after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Justin, is there a player that you'd be wanting us to focus on?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what JS does. On the other side, on the other team.
On the other team.
Because he's got to block Mondo, and so it'll be interesting to see how he handles that.
Yeah. You obviously know JS from
he's
being
one of my
here.
buddies.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you like jab at him during the week, or do you just let it go, or do you be like, oh, watch out, Mondo's coming? Like,
no.
He knows.
Yeah, he's very aware.
He's very aware.
Yeah. Nobody needs to tell him.
Okay.
No. But it's just that's an interesting matchup for me to see how that goes down.
Mm-hmm. All right. Excellent. Kayla?
Well, I guess I'll just go with the trend that I was going with, the keys to the game, and I'm going to watch Martese Jackson.
All right.
And cheer him on and go get that return touchdown. Do it.
Right.
I have faith in you.
Excellent. I am going to be keeping an eye on Brian Walker this week because he is going to be one of the people who is mostly going to be going up against Lamar Durant, who seems to be Mike Riley's favorite target.
Well, with burn him out, yeah.
So it'll definitely be a bit between Brian Walker and Money Hunter. So having those guys be able to try and shut that connection down a little bit, I think will be important. Granted, if the defensive line does like they have before, it makes
it
matter.
Easier.
But we'll see how that plays out.
And
I'm sure Mike will throw the ball super quick.
Of course,
like he does,
like he does all the time. Yeah. So you'd think, like when he was here, I was actually expecting that first game for him to be just firing it out of there because he knows Mondo's like, I finally get to hit you.
Yeah.
You better watch. And it just doesn't.
Well, half of it's the offense, half of it's the quarterback, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's okay. You don't have to get open BC.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
It's all right. Yeah. We're okay with it. Now, usually, Justin, we pick a stat that then we go like an over-under stat
What
kind of
did we do
idea.
last week?
What's that?
So explain what we did last week.
We didn't do one last week because
Or
there was
2
no
weeks ago.
game.
2 weeks last game.
So 2 weeks ago, I said the stat was Eskimo sacks, and then we set the line at 2.5, and everybody picks over or under. So,
Sure.
because you're the guest,
Okay.
you can pick what stat. I'll set the line, and then we'll see go over under.
Okay. Does it have to be an Eskimo stat?
No, it can be whatever stat you want for the game.
Sure. Let's go Mike Riley's throwing yards.
Throwing yards.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go, let's see. I'll set the line at, this is Mike Riley. This is in BC, and he's still trying to make a point against his old team. I'll go with 324.5.
And a half?
Yeah, because it could be 325.
I like that.
or
I know, but I
324,
like
right?
that.
So,
Very precise.
what do you pick? Over, under?
Ugh. Because I want it to happen? Under.
All right.
But yeah.
What would you say?
Under. That's too high.
That's too high? Okay.
I think he'll be over 300, but I don't know about that. So I
Really?
was thinking like 310.
He's only averaging like 240 or something.
I guess
say
that's
like
true.
290
Yeah.
would be his game to.
It's just, I
don't see Eskimos being the one he opens it up on.
Even better.
I like this. I like how this is going. Yeah, maybe I did set it a bit high.
I thought you were going to say 290 for some
I would have said 270.
Really?
Yeah. Because he's averaging 240.
Interesting.
Should we go Justin's line instead?
Sure.
Let's take Justin's line instead. 270. All right. Fair enough. I think that's a better line anyway. Now
You were very
Now
generous.
you're going over or under.
I'm going over because initially I was thinking 290.
All right.
I'm still going to say under.
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll go under. I'll say 255.
He just changed
He
from
just
here.
changed
I know,
it.
right?
I'm going to say.
I got convinced pretty
I'll
easily.
say over. I'll say he gets just over 300, but I think that's because they're going to be starting on their own 2, and they're going to get to the 30 a few times. That's how he's going to get it. Yeah, that's. I'll go
Right, he
with
gets
that.
it. He gets it.
Yeah. It'd be close. It's always fun afterwards to go like, how close were that sack one was hilarious because I actually set a good line on that one because I was right after we beat up BC for 6 or 7 sacks, and then it was like now we're playing Winnipeg 2.5. I think I was the only one that got it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also be over.
Oh, well.
2 sacks in the first half. And
Yeah.
then nothing.
That was not so much. All right, let's pick our other games. So the other first game is Toronto versus Winnipeg, and this one is in Winnipeg.
Oy.
So let's see. I better start with you, Mike, because Kayla looks like she's going to have a stroke. So what do you think?
Winnipeg is playing well. Toronto is not playing that well.
What? You don't say.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when they're going to start working Walker a little more into that, but
Yeah.
I guess the system isn't really working for him. So I'm gonna call this the Bombers.
All right.
Easy call Bombers.
Easy call Bombers. All right. By how much?
Well, you never say, but I'd say 20.
Oh, wow. Okay, that was more than I was
Three
thinking.
scores.
All right. Kayla?
Well, it's like last week. I was like, I want to pick Montreal, but I can't, and then they won. And I was like, I should have picked them.
You should have.
Montreal's not a bad team, though.
No.
Toronto is.
Hey, you said never mind. Yeah. So, but I'm always wrong in my pick'ems, and I think the only one I was actually right on was the Calgary one. So I was like alone with Pat, and I'm like, damn it! Although it sucks either way.
If you're always wrong, can you pick Winnipeg, please? Yeah, that would be great.
Oh,
Do us a favor.
touche. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that for you.
Thank
I'm
you.
hoping for Toronto, but
Take one for the team.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well,
Yeah.
I understand.
Well, Toronto has no turtle, so Winnipeg it is. All right. Next game, Montreal versus Ottawa in Ottawa, which now becomes a much more interesting game, I think,
Awesome,
after
yeah.
the last couple of weeks, especially the last game for both of those teams.
Yeah.
So, Justin, who would you have in that one?
I think I'm going to take Montreal.
Really? Oh, right then. Yeah, they do. They were showing something. That's for sure.
I think they're a team that's going to keep building and growing this year.
Good.
They're going to at least win more than 2 games, that's for sure.
Oh,
And I think that Ottawa's a little overrated. So
Yeah.
all right then. Kayla?
Well, I'm in the same predicament because, like, if I pick Montreal, they'll lose. But I want to this time. I'm just gonna follow Justin's lead and follow my heart and pick Montreal.
All right, then. This one I'm really torn up about, actually, because because it's in Ottawa. If it was in Montreal, I'd be a little quicker to just jump on the Montreal
Remember,
bandwagon.
they beat Hamilton.
Yes, no, I know, but I just
and Ottawa lost.
Yes, the Ottawa did, and that's what I mean. So are they going to try and bounce? I'm going to be different. I'm going to say Ottawa. Okay.
I'm just not a big believer in Dominic Davis. I think he's got some tools, but it seems really raw watching him play. So I'm going to go with Montreal.
All right, then.
You are different.
I'm the outlier.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's okay.
That's all right. I like to make it different every
Yeah,
now
I
and
was last week with Calgary.
That's right. Yeah.
So,
and
it's
somehow,
okay.
Yeah, somehow.
Oh, dang it. That means you're going to be right.
Way. Yeah. All right.
There's no right way when it comes to that game.
That's very true. Calgary versus Hamilton. This one is in the Hammer. Who do you got, Kayla?
That's a good one. Oh, sorry.
That's an excellent sound
Come
effect.
back to me. I gotta really think about this.
Really got to think about that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I already know my answer, but
Hamilton bounces back after last week. They kind of got embarrassed in that second half. I'm thinking Hamilton takes this one down at home.
Interesting. I really hate picking Calgary for anything.
Yes.
Do
you want a cowboy hat?
No.
Well,
ever.
don't pick Calgary then, or I'm going to give you a cowboy hat.
You don't own one to give me, so that's okay.
Justin just said the only people who wear those are Calgary fans.
Yeah, it doesn't make me a fan. I think that they've got a really good system in Calgary, and it's been working. Buckley's stepped in, and without Bo Levi Mitchell, he's still putting up some decent yards. So until they knock him off,
Arbuckle,
sorry,
Buckley's gone.
Right,
yeah, has been for a while, but yeah,
he's a lawyer now or something.
Yeah,
he is. Yes.
Buckley Arbuckle, someone,
same thing.
Not Bo Levi is doing well.
There's a buck in there. Right?
There is a buck.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll just call them
Buck.
Yeah, not Pierce.
No,
because he's not injured.
That's right.
So yeah, I'm going to go with Calgary.
Okay, Justin.
Calgary's too consistent.
Yeah,
week after week, I'm gonna have to take Calgary too.
Boo.
Okay, it pains me to say it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
all right, Kayla. Now you have to pick.
I know. That's exactly what I was thinking. Is Calgary's going to win, so that's why I'm not going to pick them because I don't want to pick them.
Well, then you should pick them so they lose.
But no.
Go Hamilton.
I was right last week when I picked them.
Oh, I see. All right. So are you picking them?
No.
Oh. So
Holy Mazzoli.
Okay, Holy Mazzoli. Great. Okay,
Calgary's probably going to win, but I'm not going to pick
them. The only one
them.
that had a hard time following that, or was that?
No.
No? Okay, good. All right.
Get in.
Okay.
Doesn't sound like there's enough room in there for anybody else.
No.
There really isn't. You don't even understand.
That's
a new voice.
I do appreciate that. That's very good. You can come back anytime. That's outstanding.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Are you now, Justin? Are you playing? Like fantasy football now that you're not?
No.
No. Oh, I thought this would be really funny to see who you're picking. But we have the CFPN Fantasy League. It's very, very fun, actually. I narrowly beat out Ryan Coop this week. Stayed undefeated.
Yeah, I did not. Oh.
You did not. No, Ty beat up on you pretty good.
Yeah, I had a lot of injured players.
Yes.
A lot of injured players.
Everybody had Sean Thomas Erlington, so everybody got at least 1-0.
Picked the wrong running back in that game.
Yeah, no kidding. How many points did Stan?
43.
43? Jeepers, that's ridiculous.
And Thomas Erlington had 0.
Yes.
So, yeah.
You can take solace in the fact you didn't have the lowest score this week.
Sap mod.
I know, yeah. We picked a lot of Saskatchewan Rough Riders.
How low?
He had 30.
He had 34 points, I think.
I had like 40-something. And people have 100 and some odd.
I got 80, which was respectable. But
Ryan did well.
I had Fajardo and Kyron Moore in that last game, and he started throwing all those intercepts. Like, I had just pulled into the lead, and then he threw that pick six. I'm like, no, you jerk! What are you doing? And then they pulled him. I'm like, I only need 3 more points. Somebody throw it to Moore. And he just got enough to squeak it over there, so it was pretty crazy. Now, this week, I get Sheldon from the Horsemen, and you get Rod from the Wood Cookie Sawcast. Lots of fun matchups. It's going to be lots of fun. Do you have anybody that you got your eye on this week?
At this point, no.
No?
Got to reevaluate my entire strategy.
I can tell you I'm looking forward to depth chart tomorrow. I think if Tavares Daniels is on there, I think that might be a good pick.
I might take Matt Nichols. Playing against Toronto.
That's saying something.
Yeah.
You sure that's the quarterback you want to go with?
He's cheap, and he's going against Toronto. So
That's true.
that's the only.
He's not notoriously known for getting a lot of yards.
No.
But if his receivers can get some yak, then I'm okay.
Maybe he can manage you a few points. All right, let's.
I love that his wife got him the game manager.
Feather hat. That was outstanding. Yes. Okay. Well, getting back to the CFPN League, make sure you follow all the great shows at cfpodnetwork.ca and of course at CFPod Network on Twitter. There's lots of great shows, and we're all kind of competing against each other, so it's a ton of fun. Justin, I want to say thanks for coming down and joining us and having some fun down here and talking some football.
Yeah, no worries. It was a good time.
And where does everybody find you if they want to connect with you? Are you still doing Twitter and things like that?
Yeah, I'm still on Twitter, Instagram. Okay. Everything's the same.
Okay. What is it again? Is it Justin69?
Justin _6868.
That's what it is. Yeah. I'm like, there's a 6. There's a couple of 6s in there. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Perfect. Excellent. Well, thanks for coming, man. This was awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time. Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. We'll have you back so that you can make fun of Kayla again. That's great.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, but I'm just kidding. All right, Commissioner, where does everybody find you?
Who doesn't matter anymore? My life sucks.
Everybody wants to follow the Commissioner.
At Duchess Lombardi.
Perfect. Superfan?
At 56 Barkies.
Perfect. You can find me at Freepalicious. Of course, the show at Esks Empire Pod. Make sure that you follow Pay It Forward with Football on Facebook. Get those nominations into Quentin and Samantha. And of course, make sure you check out all the shows on the Alberta Podcast Network. You can find that at albertapodcastnetwork.com. You can find all of our social channels as well on eskempire.ca. We will be back, of course, next week to talk about how many times we sacked Riley. And of course, we will have a returning fan, and I will bring in a report of my BC trip.
Excellent.
So is it time for a big win in BC while I'm there?
Absolutely.
For Justin Sorensen, Commissioner Kayla, and Superfan Mike, I'm Andrew. Remember, you can't catch footballs with your face, and we will absolutely talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening. Find more great shows like this at CF Pod Network on Twitter.